Well, we're back after a quick restart. Welcome to round 2 of Racing Formula League around the famous Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Straight into a 17-minute qualifying here, and Albon is straight back out, well ahead of the pack. He's ready to crack on. He set some laps around one of the fastest and most just enthralling circuits. It's just incredible to drive. Every corner flows, every corner's high speed, and you have to be right on the limit to get the perfect lap. Now, in our RFL here, we have got one competitive grid here, so we can expect incredibly quick lap times, as well as it being incredibly close. So we're in for a very, very quick 16 minutes here. We're going to ride on board with Albon as he comes into his lap here, and we'll take you through a lap to see the benchmark he sets. Starts off the lap well, nice traction into La Source, about 140 miles an hour into 140, more like 40, but right on 100 metre board, brake down, just get a touch to the apex there, back on the throttle, maybe a little bit too conservative there, could have gone out wide onto the sausage curb to get a better exit. But here you go, this is the corner you prep for. Eau Rouge, quick left into a fast sweeping right, up into Radion, and that was not too bad, just a little bit scrappy, but the lap time will still be there. Coming up into the Camel Straight, about 205 miles an hour before braking into the Coombs, turn 7, 8, 9, what a complex this is. For a quick drop into turn 10, which you need to hook up the inside curb, which he does nicely, just keeping the car as fast to the right as you can. Or a quick little lift off there, down the straight, a pull on, unsighted, but you need to go absolutely flat out around here. Little lift this time, but by the end of qualifying it'll be flat around there, and no doubt about that. Not been a bad lap here, very clean, hitting his marks, and as we come into turn 14, into 15, drop down, exit his corner around 150 miles an hour, down to the long back straight. Everything you do here, we line up to Blanchimont, just keeping it straight, keeping it to the right, make sure you get the best exit. She seems to be doing nicely here, getting the line. Nicely through Blanchimont as Kirby has retired. She looks to be in the pits, so that might be other implications I'm not sure of. Into Bus Stop Chicane, that was very nice through there, nice and neat, onto power early. Across the line to get a 1:42.334. With Mercedes coming up next, who I believe is Alpine actually. Alpine here of SA Bolt. What can we do here? We're going to be a bit slower this time. 1:42.7, not a bad benchmark, not too far, 4/10 off. 2 more laps to improve on that, so. On the mediums, goes a little bit further off, but medium tyres getting a benchmark in, saving that soft medium for the race. Hamagi's a little correction there, a little bit too much speed into the corner. Not too bad. Scott goes second, 1:42.5, 10th and a half off first. Now what can Finns do? We know Finns is one relentless, quick and just impeccable driver. Into the bus stop chicane, braking around the 50 metre board. As you can see they're hooked up very nicely. Using all the curbs for rotation, nice exit. I think we're going to break to the 41s here. Okay, didn't check his lap times are going. On the mediums, 48, but you know, he's looking confident, he's looking quick. Another Alpine here coming up. Tom 123 for the win. 1:16.2 in the middle sector, and he's coming into the pits. Fo follows Dan. Maybe saw a little mistake on their laps. Not too sure about that. Try to bear with me here. I'm learning the ropes of commentary. I'm trying to find out who's on laps, who's not. I'll try my best. I think Jinx is pushing here on the medium tyre, so we'll see what he can do coming into the last sector. He's got a Williams off there, ready to drop it into the drop a gravel wheel into the gravel, which loses the rear end, or just put too much power down early. It's very inviting to put the power down and bolt off the corner. But we'll keep him on board with Jinx here until the end of the lap, see what he can do. He bails out into the pit lane. I'm not having too much luck here, am I? I'm gonna say it's not Dan. It would be Crystal. Yeah, he's in as well. So yeah, we're just seeing all the drivers come back into the pits after their first runs. And currently on top is at the Thrive SLR medal with 1:42.085. Not a bad lap from him. Although I definitely think we'll be into the 41s here. But he's got a healthier lead right now, and he will be brimming with confidence going into the second runs. Well, Snip's in that lap here in the McLaren. Snips is also a very, very quick driver. Didn't turn up too much last season, but when he did, you knew the race had to be your A game, or you wasn't good enough. So here you go, perfect start to the lap, going out wide. And I think here we're going to see a very, very competitive lap. Just after 100 metre board for him, getting it in turn nicely. There you go, very nice, and using all the track just to keep the minimum speed high, and also set up Eau Rouge very far to the left, using all the track, up right, up through Radion, and he backs out. He's actually invalidated there, so that's unlucky from Snips. That looked pretty perfect from my angle, but obviously the game knows what it's on about, so he will either back off. He's got time to come into the pits, or I think he might have time just to do 2 laps of a back off and a pushing back in, but he might just back out and do the safe option here. We've still got a number of quick drivers here who haven't set laps yet. All of these bottom 6 drivers are very capable of being up there, so we just have to keep an eye on them, see what their laps do, as everyone else is pulling out of the pits for their second flying laps. Right then, so Snips has stayed out, he's going for another lap here. The times are a little bit higher here, so this first sector should be a lot more competitive for him. Once again, a little bit wide this time, but nicely rotated, leaving more margin on the table at the exit. I'd say Rouge might be a bit more conservative this time, just to make sure he doesn't get validated and get a lap in. Very nicely done up there. As with Snips, he's such a smooth driver from what I've seen. He like just gets everything pinpoint, and this should pay off dividends in a track like Spa where it's so flowing. It's just so quick. Into turn 7, 8, 9 here, setting up very nicely. Swing to the left for down into turn 10. Very hard braking zone here because it drops down and you've got to get a nice rotation around this 180-degree corner, which it does nicely on the power early. Very nice. Swings down into No Name before the quick shoot down to Pill on one of the most just hardest but most rewarding corners on the game. I think maybe a small downshift, but not a lift, but seems pretty spot on to me. Braking on the 50 metre board again, just keep it on the white line, don't get the wheel into the curb. Using up all the track he can to get a very nice lap in here. I think this could be 1 to send to the top. Let's go purple sector 2, 113.6. This is a lap that we will want to see. Next then into the bus stop chicane. Maybe a little bit on the late side there, but nicely recovered. On the curb and a shoot to the line for a 1:41.870. That is the time for beat. And let's see what everyone else can do now. Yep, Arbon just crossed the line, 1:42.2, slight improvement, but up into the top 3, second row of the grid, can't complain. Tom 123, 1:42.065. It's getting close at the top, what did I say? Got a Ferrari crossing the line now. Sorry, I missed that. Dan goes P5, 142.2, not too far off. Keeping on the third row of the grid right far. Sorry, I apologise. Scott finishes lap here. He's 3/10 up there, as you can see, so this could put him right contention. With a good last corner, nice traction. Shoots the line, and he gets a 1:42.155 P4. Very nice lap there to put onto the second row of the grid and right in contention. Got a fluster of cars coming to the line now. I'll try and keep my eye on them as much as I can. Fins, here we go, soft tyres. What can he do? 1:41.671. Brilliant lap, 2/10 clear. That'll give him very nice food for thought into the last runs here. Adventurous line there. Fair enough. I do wish this game had names for the map on the bottom right. It would help a lot. Trying to navigate who's coming to the line, who's not. But I think we're in a similar situation now where everyone's just coming into the pits. Prep and get ready for that final run where the track's at its best. You're in the zone. You've had 2 laps now. All the practice you've done, all the preparation. You know, you're a little bit on edge during the first 2 things, just getting into it, warming into it, and now this is where it matters. This is the lap where you've got to get every braking zone, every turn in, every setup, every traction zone spot on, which many drivers in this league are capable of doing. So we should be in for one hell of a last few stints here. Very close between Stips and Medal right now, just 2/100ths of a second. We'll see who comes on the battle there. Jinx then, going early, onto his lap now. Or was he? Yeah, he set up a lap. Very wide turn in there, getting a best run up to Eau Rouge. A little bit loose in the rear end there, but it's still not too bad. Obviously set up nicely at turn 1, so he's still got much higher minimum speed coming into here. Keeping it into the curb, cutting across Radion to shorten the lap as much as you can. Another long straight, it climbed to around 210 miles an hour. Before braking it around, I think it's between the 150 metre board, or on the 50 metre board. I haven't played enough of this game to know that yet. All over the curb before swinging left, down, through turn 10, turn 9, into turn 10. Very nicely kept to the right, keeping it so tight through there, on the power early. This is looking like a very neat lap so far. A touch of the curb on the right and left, just to make sure you don't go over the limits, but keeping the track as wide as you can. Small lift, then he's gone wide, and that's invalidated. But a very nice lap up to there. He can be encouraged that he can challenge for a very quick lap should he put it all together. Angelito here, finishing off his lap. Through Blanchimont, around 190 miles an hour through there. Breaking on the 100 metre board before swinging right and left, hooking up the car very nice on the curb. This could be a lap to challenge around the top 10. Yeah, P9, very solid. Now that won't, unless he's going to slow down with another lap, that will be it for him. Here we go. The outlaps are happening now. We are ready for a showdown around this 7-kilometre circuit. One of the best qualifying circuits. Good set of drivers. This is going to be a very, very interesting 3 minutes. I'm going to do my best to stay on board with who I can, when I can, catch people crossing the line. The timing board's there, the timing board never lies, and the race is all that matters here. But for now, we prep this qualifying 3. Well, it's only one qualifying, but it's qualifying 3. Ah, is that Mercedes doing a toe tactic here? That was very nice executed there. It's just he's started a lap a little bit early, 2 tenths up. Now that could help him out here. Got some nice speed through there. Maybe a little bit wide at some corners, but still the speed's there. Dropping down. Car stopped nicely. Power, not too bad. Alright, let's go back to the front. Here we go. Let's watch Scott. P2 in last year's championship. Once again, another relentless driver. He will always be near the top, no matter what track, what car, what season, what game you're on. So we're going to watch him now as he flies up into Eau Rouge. Left, right, cut across, rally on. Here we go, up the Camel Straight, 205, 210 miles an hour, brake on the 50 metre board. He will be gunning this. P5 right now, good benchmark. He has to push everything he can, and he will be doing that. Normal jinx, across the line. His qualifying's over, P2. Very nice in the end there, 142.854. Just ahead of Snips, but not too far off first. That should give him a good position for the race. Back on board with Scott now. Swing to the right, could be a little bit closer to the right, but he's still carrying nice speed through there. Nice line, clean power, put down. Into pit on, does he go flat? Absolutely flat. That's the first time I've actually seen this qualifying session. Brilliant to see. Braking out on that 50 metre board on the curb. Keep on the white line, does that nicely. Before swinging left. Into Stavolo, turn 15. Once again on the curb, swing it out left again, swing down right. About 150 miles an hour through there, absolutely flat out, easily in these new 2023 cars. Well, 2022, but upgraded in 2023. Through Blanchimont now, once again, just a very tidy lap here. Can he get it stopped? Hook up the... Oh, he's invalidated, I didn't catch that. Well, it will be P7 from now. Can Tom Gorian do kind of last corner? He can behind Scott this whole lap. Shoot to the line, 142.5. Just slightly missed out on an improvement. SA Bolt up to P6. Very nice lap there, getting on the third row of the grid. What can his teammate Tom do? Snips goes fastest, 141.5. Brilliant lap here. But what can Tom do? 141.8. 3 tenths away, not too far, and that is qualifying over. So, like I said, Spa, one of the best qualifying tracks on the game, in real life on the game. It did not disappoint there. Snips, I'm a bit disappointed I didn't catch his lap there actually, that's poor from me. But 141.5 tells you what you need to know about Snips. He will always deliver, and also a quality racing driver in the race, so he should be right up there as Hammergeezer gets a penalty for blocking. Looking down the grid then, Snips, pole, 141.513, very nice gap, very nice lap, to P2. 141.6 from FSR Fins, he will be looking to fight Snips in the race for the win, and he will not give that up. Tom third, Jinx fourth, SLR Medal fifth. Constant Ride runs out the third row of the grid in the Haas with a 142. Looking further down, you've got Bolt, Vapid, Scott, Arbon, Dan, Angelismo, Tom Gorian, Hammergeezer, I believe got a 5 place penalty, so he'll be starting last. And Tristle Star and Yo, Kirby retiring in the pits, not sure why, but he will be starting from the back. Can he use an alternative strategy to boost him up the grid? We will see.
roughly half the length of the original circuit. All routes in Radion are by far the most notorious corners on the current circuit. In this section of the track, drivers are launched from a straight into a steep uphill series of right and left corners with a blind summit. Michael Schumacher won the Belgian Grand Prix 6 times between 1992 and 2002, making him the most successful driver at Spa. Spa's old layout is a great example of the lack of safety considerations and requirements of the time. It was and is still used as a public road. Aside from a few bales of hay, the circuit remained unchanged on a race weekend. British World Championship class took 4 consecutive wins here at Spa between 1962 and 1965, a feat since matched by only one other driver, Ayrton Senna. Despite Ferrari's success at Spa, Kimi Raikkonen's win here in 2009 would be the last victory Mr. Bosie would taste until Sebastian Vettel led the Prussian horses to victory in 2018. Spa is known for its unpredictable weather, with rain frequently shaking up the race weekend. The original Spa-Francorchamps was one of the fastest tracks in Europe and had a reputation for being dangerous, with most of the corners being taken at more than 180 miles an hour. Spa-Francorchamps also hosts the Spa 24 Hours and 1,000 km Spa races. Outside of the racing world, it has been used several times for the Tour de France. Spa has been notably absent from the F1 calendar on a number of occasions throughout the years. In 2006, Spa was dropped after event organisers went bankrupt before circuit improvements could be completed. The Eau Rouge corner is a favourite among fans, who have jokingly dubbed a similar corner on the Istanbul Park circuit Beau Rouge. Despite the name, circuit de Spa-Francorchamps is located in Stabilo, not Spa. In 1957, the Belgian Grand Prix had to be cancelled due to high fuel costs thanks to the sewage crisis. The modern track is roughly 7 kilometres or 4.352 miles long and contains a total of 92. This is roughly half the length of the original circuit. All routes in Radion are by far the most notorious corners on the current circuit. In this section of the track, drivers are launched from a straight into a steep uphill series of right and left corners with a blind summit. British World Championship class took 4 consecutive wins here at Spa between 1962 and 1965, a feat since matched by only one other driver, Ayrton Senna.
The formation lap is underway then. Snips on the hards, fins on the hards, and all hard front row. Tom, switch up on the medium. Should get a better traction, better pace on the first stint, but at the end of the race he will be suffering the consequences of the harder tyre. But obviously you never know. Safety car. That could all come into his favour. If it comes out early, you're probably looking around lap 6, 7. Them hards will take easily to the end, but it also put it in a range where Snips and Fins may pit onto the mediums where they could just go to the end, but that tyre management is absolutely essential, so they will not be getting all out pace, and also they could also get the puncher. It's right in that limit range, so he'll be hoping for a safety car early on if the pace is not there, but with Tom, the pace is never far away if it's not there, so he will be looking to pounce early, get a lead, build a gap, come into the hards, and just push flat out. Further down the grid, we've got a nice mix here of mediums and hards. Previously on the old games, it would always be hards throughout the grid because it's just the fastest way to get to the line. It held out well. You missed out that really the difficult traction on 22 meant the outlaps you lose in seconds. So if you start on the hard, you eliminate that outlap. Whereas on this game, it's more neutralised, so we can see a wider range of strategies here, which we are seeing. I'm surprised there's a few guys further down on the mediums, but they might feel that their pace is not where they need to be. So going out early, getting some positions, pulling early, and just jumping the guys ahead could greatly benefit their race. Sip's getting on with it here, no mucking around, nice and quick. As he pulls into the bus stop chicane. Maybe looking to get some nice wheel spin. Just make sure that them tyres are nice and warm, get a good launch. It's not too fast to the first corner here, so poor start and you can still recover. Late break in, nice traction, and up the straight, you can slip straight and get back ahead. But he'll still want to get an up to nice start as he pulls in here. Well, here we go then. Hammer Geezer pulls in. Green flag is waving. And the lights are on. We're underway here in Spa. Snips gets a very nice start. Everyone else does as well. There's no poor starts here, but can he maintain the lead into the start? Yes, he does. Finns looks up the inside, but can't quite get it. Jinx round the outside of Tom on them hard tyres. Tom getting a poor start on the mediums, losing positions. But what can he do? Come up into Eau Rouge. All line astern here, but who can get the slipstream? Who's running the lower downforce setup? Can they get ahead into turn 7? Tom's slipstream, he's looking. He's got the ERS on. Can he get a move on Jinx? The medium tyres need to play to his advantage here. We also see the Haas and Ferrari. Nice move there by Medal, but ooh, Ryan sticks it out. We've got a spinner behind. All covered nicely. Oh, it's not. Cooper, Hammond, Greaser are off. Not too far. Looks like no damage, so they can continue on. Snip still. Very nice gap so far. 7 tenths. Can he maintain that? You've got a bit of a gap for him between 7th and 8th right now, 1.6 seconds, so we're looking to close that back up. But so far, apart from the two at the back, a very nice, clean getaway so far. Constant Ryan still all over Jinx on their medium tyres. He will also be getting the tyre advantage, but can he? Can't make a move around this part of the track, or can he? He's looking left, right, behind. Can he duck up the inside? No, not around here, it's too fast. But onto the back straight, big braking zone into the bus stop chicane. And there he goes, already pulled alongside. Not even 20 metres up the straight, and he's pulled alongside. Can he keep ahead of the ERS? He looks like he's got good line straight line speed, which he does. Maybe Jinx was just letting him through a little bit there, but can he get a nice corner exit? He does. Can he duck up the inside? I don't think he can here. He's smart to sit behind, just preserve what you're doing so far. Oh, and he's hit him round! Do not preserve what you're doing, do not listen to me, hit him round. Oh, and he's hit Bolt round. That's a lost front wing, and that's a unhappy Alpine crew there. No safety car though, might get a virtual. A lot of debris on track, but it's off the line, so it's fine. Back up ahead though, Snips. Tom has also got past Finns, which I've missed, so apologies for that. But pulling nicely as well around. 7 tenths already, and he's gaining on Snips. Very nice overreaching radio on exit there, under half a second now. He's in the slipstream. Can he get in this lap? If not, there's always DRS next lap, and he will be easily past him then. Jinx has also fallen off a little bit now, 1.9 seconds. Tongorian neutralising the gap nicely. His teammate Scott very close behind. He'll be looking to get past next lap the operation of DRS and push on up into the top end of the grid. We've got quite similar gaps forming now. This is part of the Grand Prix where there's no DRS yet. Everyone's tyres are in good nick, and no one with setups is struggling with the tyre temperature, tyre wear, or just instability of the car. So for now, we can hope drivers are going to keep it clean, keep the warnings down, prepare for when they can deploy that DRS, ERS, get alongside. We do see McLaren, right? Oh, up the inside, you don't see a move there. Oh, and he has lost it. Maybe a little too late on the brakes. Touch of the curb, but he manages to stay ahead of Kirby there on their medium tyres. So he's got the advantage, and he locks the rears. As I was saying about setup there, he might have a bit of a setup issue with the brake bias moving forward. Looking ahead though, I wonder if Tom's made a mistake. Finn's only 5 tenths off, and he's 1.3 off Snips, and on their medium tyres, as I keep saying. As Bolt is off, that will be a safety car, only a virtual. If we go on board of Vapid here, you might be able to see. I presume he's lost the rear, and oh, the car's already gone. That's quick this game, eh? But yeah, I presume Into turn 16, very quick, demanding corner. So I'd imagine he's lost the rear or understeered off into the barrier. Understandable, but he's really disappointed with an early exit here today. Now we have two alternative strategy runners into the pits, both on the mediums. Can they step on a hard and go to the end? Let's see. McLaren on the hards. What are the Haas T at optimal? That's another set of mediums. So he might be going medium hard, medium soft, go further into this race. Maybe a bit of damage as well, just to fix. I'm still surprised that's not a full safety car. That would be a lot of debris on the track in a dangerous fast zone. But not to Snips's delight. 1.6 seconds now. That is very perfect to him. He'll be looking now just to manage, extend, manage the warnings, manage the tyres, keep your head in the zone and just bolt on, get the mediums on late in the race and cruise it home. It's not going to be that easy though. Something will always happen around Spa, and we've known that from our races, from real life races, other people's races, and Crystal Star gets a drive through for speed in. Just outside the points right now, but on a hard tyres, he had a very nice tyre advantage going into the second half of this race, but he's now all been lost through that drive through. So he'll be hoping for a safety car or just a very nice purple patch of pace. As we see, Tom has caught a lot. So either Snips has been caught out with a safety car the wrong part of the track in terms of delta, or Tom has picked it up since the restart. But this will be very, very, very close up into turn 7, 8, 9. Can he get on the brakes brake later and get ahead? He's still, just keeping it tidy behind. Get a nice exit, bit of boost of DRS here, keeping close. But he's not. From what I've seen, it's the traction zones he's struggling with, even on the medium tyres. Snips are just absolutely spot on, as you can see, just perfect, bolts off. Now you look to break that DRS here, he's getting incredibly close, and he's broken the DRS. So it's now we turn to Fins. Fins will be looking to keep up behind that Alpine rear wing, pull out onto the brakes, up into Peter and push on to Snips. Here we go, halfway up the straight, not even close. 215 miles an hour there. Back onto the racing line, it's a minimal time loss. And he's back in the second of Snips. So next time round, can we see Finn versus Snips? Two drivers on the same tyres. Two brilliant drivers. Looking further down, the Mercedes with Dan is also close to Scott now. Scott falling off a little bit from Tom here, but that will not be like that for long. Tom outside the DRS right now with Jinx on the medium tyres. We're hoping to close that gap, keep it low. Any mistake, he'll be back and ready to pounce. We see a very close batch here from Tom in 5th to SR Medal in 10th. Medal had a good qualifier, he dropped down to 10th, so I'm not sure if I missed something there. But it's looking, so far the top 10 is very secure. Kirby's 8 seconds off on the hards. That could play his advantage if there's a safety car late race or just general tyre wear, but we'll have to see how his pace goes. Now looking back up the front, Finn's now off DRS, leaving Tom right up behind him. A little bit further back, but he could get a few nice corners, bit of DRS down the pit straight, and he'd be right back up there in the contention for P2. As we have another... Ooh, is that just a spin? Spin from Kirby, he's lost about 5 seconds there, so no damage done. He can crack on with his race from now on. But Tom has now dropped out of the DRS. I wonder if he's struggling with tyres, setup, speed. Another. Oh, Kirby. Has he crashed into the pits? I believe he has, and that's a full safety car. Now, this is where Tom comes back into the race. As I said earlier, them medium tyres, slap a set of hards on, you are comfortable to end the race. So he can now pit. But now, Snips and Fins and Jinx in the hard position. Do you stay out? Spa is about a 20-second pit lane, I believe. So you stay out now, lose that time, but hope you gain it back in delta and pace and track position. I think if Tom's the only one that pits, he'll be down in 9th, 10th. So he has to make his way back through the grid, as well as on being on the harder tyres for the end of the race. But at the same time, if everyone pits, he'll be right up behind Snips and Fins on fresher tyres, and also a pit stop ahead. So it's very tricky part of the race for a safety car to come out right now. Let's see how the drivers react to it. Here we go then. Everyone comes in. Jinx stays out. He's going for a different strategy here. P4, it could be a risk. He's in a good position still to some solid points. But he wants that illustrious win. And who could blame him? Yeah, medium snips, Finns, all the hard runners onto the mediums. And Tom on the hards. This race now will be boiling down to the wire. There's no doubt about that. It's all about management now. Tyre wear, the pace doesn't matter anymore. You've got to manage them tyres to the end. Tom should be able to push to the end now. 16 laps, hard tyres. They will be sound for the rest of the race. But here we go. Snips and Finns are in for one long 16 laps here. Trying to fend off Tom, who would ultimately gain speed at the end of the race. Trying not to get a puncher. I haven't raced too much this year, so I'm not sure how the tyre model works in terms of punches, tyre wear. I know there's been the controversy of the tyre wear deltas between different cars. So how that affects the race right here, I'm not too sure what cars got benefited, but that's obviously going to be a factor. And tyre wear is on the absolute limit around the high stress track of Spa-Francorchamps. So it looks like every driver down to 10th, Scott, on the hard tyres, is pitted. And then 11th, 12th, down to 15th, 14th, constant run, he's pitted for fresh hards. He'd be looking to just have tyre delta and push himself up into the grid by the time the checkered flag drops. I think Yo still has that drive-through, if I'm correct, in that Williams. Very lovely livery that is. Helmet matches nicely with it, as he, we get some fast action here, all tucked up behind a safety car, but you can watch him drop into Blanchimont, I meant P1, but very striking green helmet there. So we're probably looking at one more lap of safety car here with the two Hasses at the back. They'll be looking to bolt themselves back up the grid by time we reach the end of the race. But we're just gonna follow the leader, Jinx round. A 5-lap old hard, he's probably looking nearing 20%, I reckon, on his tyre wears. So not too worn, he can still have good pace, and obviously he's got the track position now. So can he tuck up the drivers, give him a bit of dirty air, cause some mayhem, as I'd like to say, and just, you know, make that strategy work for him. You know, you've gone different. You can't. He either knows in himself that he can make this work, or he has to try something different. But in either way, he has to make it work for him. He can't get caught up in Snips, Finn's, Tom's race. He's got to take a very aggressive approach of battling as much as you can. You know, wind them up, use the tyres up, put them in a position they don't want to be in, and then ultimately put fresh tyres on, maybe another safety car, fresher tyres still, everyone might pit, and he's got the track position. Or he can either go conservative, you know, hope for that tyre delta, that safety car, and see how it plays out at the end of the race. But I think you'll go for the first one. Why not? Give it everything you got. You still got good tyre wear left. You still got track position, the speed. The speed is clearly there. Just keep the tyres warm, get a good restart, and fight as hard as you can. That's what we want to see. But at the end of the day, it's the drivers who are going to get results, so it's down to them. Right then, as the drivers dropped down into turn 13 behind that safety car, we were looking at the prospect of a restart right here. During that last lap, Angelique must pit for a fresh set of hards. You know, that extra lap can always help, and it can always count towards the end. He'll be looking, yeah, he's only 4 positions off the point, so he'll be more than pushing. There we go, safety car in. So like I said earlier, how will Jinx approach this? Will he give it everything he's got, or will he take a more conserved, marginal approach? He's backing up the pack early here. Keep them tyres warm, you need to. He's got to perfect this start. 5 lap older tyres and on the hards compared to the mediums. But what will Snips and Fins do here? They can push as well. They got the tyres. They will ultimately be quicker even if they're trying to preserve. But they can't get caught up. They've ultimately got the pace here. These two here by far look the fastest. But they've now got that huge mountain to climb of keeping the tyres in a window where they can perform for the whole race and not blow up. So they've got to... Oh! Was that a touch from Tom there? I think that could have been. He's missing the front right end plate. That was some contact there. And that throws Tom out of this race. Any tyre delta he's gained, he's already dropped off. Any tyre delta he gained, he's now lost from that front wing. Anyway, back up to Snips, already right up behind. Oh, he's just pushing him around the corner. Let's watch them go side by side. There we go. Snips is through into the lead then. Now what he needs to do is pull that gap and make sure he can just preserve them tyres. And now Finn's now challenging, tucked up behind the Ferrari. He's not even going to fight it. He's through. He's through. Breaking the 50-metre board and he's passed. So Jinx taking a more marginal approach here. He'd be looking to just stick to the front two, keep his nose clean, and just try and hang on and make this strategy work for him. Dan also, he's done very nice this race. You know, we haven't seen much of him, but he's been progressing very steadily up the race, and he is now also in the fight for the podium, the win. But once again, the medium tyres strike back. Can he make sure he can make them tyres last to the end? I think he probably can. Looking a bit further down, Tom Gorian just dropping a second off, but the race will come to him on them hard tyres. He's the first of the fresh hard tyre runners, so he just needs to keep consistent pace. And a Ferrari's off, Jinx is off. Very poor restart for Jinx now. Them tyres are probably not as temperature, not as quick, and he is feeling the effect of that now. Now he comes with a huge pressure from a huge pack of cars. From around 4th to 6th, we've seen a massive, not massive, really slight change in pace, very consistent, very close together. And this pack on fresh tyres is going to eat him alive at this stage. So he'll be looking now, just like I said, keep your nose clean and just keep onto the back of Dan, which I think he can now. Dan's a more reasonable car for him to keep onto the end of. But Tom is not waiting around, he's gone up the inside. A little bit of contact there, but Tom was ahead. I think Jinx will know that, but it's not over. Side by side up for a Rouge. It's the most iconic corners, but Jinx thinks better of it and tucks up behind, but now he can get in the slipstream. DRS not activated yet, but that extra dose of air taken from that front wing. And he's back ahead, he's side by side, outside line. Can he get the better brake in? Great on board here from Arbon. Oh, that's going to end up bad. Oh, Tom's pushed off the track. Jinx stays ahead. That was too hard to call from my angle. I want to see the... Yeah, this is going to get tasty now. Tom's clearly frustrated from that. He's got medal pass as well, so he's now lost position from Arbon and medal. Just that little mistake there. A little push wide from Jinx. So I think that Jinx isn't putting up with anymore. Jinx has seen he's dropped down, and he knows he needs to maintain position now and fight with everything he has. And we're seeing that, elbows out. Round 2. Couldn't tell, could you? Scott still stuck up behind Tom as well. He's keeping a marginal head, very calm. So we're seeing how to play that ahead of him. Where could he pounce? Just keep the ERS up. We can see 81% there. Keep it backed up. He's got a nice gap behind. He can just focus ahead now and try and move himself up the grid as the race continues on. As we can see, Arbon and Jinx side by side. Zoe's retired, and that will be a safety car. And now it gets interesting again. Yellow, I believe, lost it coming out of no name down on the way to Pilon. So I'd imagine he's probably lost it on the exit curb. And the leaders are back in. And their medium tyres, not a problem anymore. But this is where it could have been interesting for Scott. Sorry about that. Tom. He didn't get a damage, he'd now have the track position. But, as you can see now, the hard tyre runners of Tom, Scott, Angelissimo. Angelissimo pitted, didn't he? End of the first stage got pitted to get that fresh tyre, fresh hard. He was 13th. He's now 5th, just providing the right time at the right place. You can never predict a safety car. You need to get it just put yourself in a position where you can benefit from any circumstance, which a hard tyre did. So he is very, very not fortunate, because he's created his own luck here. So very nice driving from him there to get up to P5. Snips though, fresh mediums, no problem anymore. He can push until the end of the race, and he's only got 6 cars ahead of him. We saw his pace in qualifying. We've seen his pace early in this race. He is a force to be reckoned with around this track, and he'll be looking to make it a race win. This could be a down to the wire finale, enthralling finale. Well, not finale, round 2, finale lap, final lap, push, 12 laps. It's basically a sprint race from here. All the drivers, no tyre wear, you just push. Now Tom, fresh leaders again, down in 13th. We've seen his speed is up there with the top 3. So how can he, I think, I'm correct in saying he's running a bit more higher downforce from what I've seen. So how can he manage his tyres, manage his placement of the car to just bolster up the grid, try and line up good lines to get a better exit, nip ahead into the braking zone, fresh tyres, and the speed he's got, not many can compete with that. Anyway, down from any driver at the points right now, they're in with a great shot. The top 5 or on top 6 even on worn tyres. 4 laps, albeit any sort of delta you get plays massively as the race goes on. Any driver here could score points, could lose it. We're still yet to see a big twist. It's never out of the blue. Dan Davies has got a penalty. I'm not sure if that's I believe it'd be a 3-second. We'll just check that now. Penalty and warning. So I believe that'd be a 3-second penalty for him. And in his little group he was in, we said before, he nicely made up to P4. So for him, the safety car's been more of a problem for others than him for others. That penalty now basically put him in a net last. So all his hard work's been undone, but Dan is a high caliber driver who can work his way back up as R1 now pits. So now that's strange. I think the safety car could have allowed you to stretch them tyres to the end. He's first, they're trap position. There's still a tyre advantage in the hard, and I think he could have made it to the end of that safety car. So that's a strange decision from me to pit, but I'm sat here watching the race, so I'd have to make the hard decisions. So if he feels that's right for him, that's fair enough. But he's gone from 1st to 14th. I think that's ultimately not going to work out for him, but I hope I'm proved wrong. I'd love to see him cut through the pack and get back up. Halfway through a race right now. This has felt like a long race from the commentary box for me. Trying to keep on top of everything, but we've had a lot of close racing, so hopefully the drivers are enjoying it. We've seen a little bit of argy-bargy here and there. Touching wheels, but it's all part of racing. No serious consequences apart from that first safety car restart. We saw a few front wings being lost. But looking into the second half of the race, flat out, no saving. We're going to be in overtakes and drama. There we go then, the lights are off, the safety car's coming in this lap. How can the Aston Martins work together to get medal here, put them under pressure, bring home the points for the team? Let's not speak too early though, long race ahead. We're only halfway through and it's felt like a absolute marathon right now. But drivers are weaving, getting their tyres in. Can Medal get a better restart than his teammate did last time round? He's now down in the 8th, Jinx, so it's not worked out too bad from him in the end. He had a few little niggles with Tongorian, but he's down in a position where he can pounce. Yeah, Medal really backing the pack up here. He really wants to surprise him, catch him out, get that gap he needs. All in equal tyres in the top 5, so there's no tyre delta here. It's just flat out pure speed racing. And he's gone early. He wants to get that exit out of the chicane. Tom Gorin's following him nicely. Medal here. Just very tentative there, you know. Just make sure you don't muck up. Just keep it sure it's nice. And he's got a 7/10 gap there, so he will be able to push on with a clear mind right now and just try and maintain that lead. Further back, Ryan's dropped off already, causing quite a big gap. Can the McLaren snips? Here we go. What did I say? Can he entice a move? No, I think he's just dropping back there, saving his ERS. Get a good line, get a good exit and catapult up the hill into turn 7. And he's already passed. There we go. That deployment of the ERS, perfect timing for snips. Very nicely managed there into P5, and now Angelito's up next on the harder tyres, the older harder tyres. He's challenging Scott right now. Scott's just falling off the back of Tom a little bit here, but that won't be for long. He will catch back up, that's for sure. Looking further down, Dan and the Ferrari of Jinx. Jinx has actually got past him there, so Dan is just sticking up behind him. He's got the pace, and he can just keep in close proximity. Make sure they're straight. Obviously, there's tyre difference there, so Jinx has probably got a better braking zone there and got ahead. Oh, Dan! Oh, that was a very sketchy reach on as well. Luckily, the ghosting comes in down there. The Haas around the outside, you know, drops out the points. He needs to fight back, and he's left. So I wonder if he actually had connection issues further up the hill, because you don't brake into P1, so I reckon he's lagged out a bit early on, and that's unlucky for him, because he was in a great position early in this race. But back on line with Snips here. He's got 2 guys ahead. Scott and Angelissimo. I think he just needs to manage this nicely, place himself well into the break lines. Let them fight, and then pick your way through when you can. But no, he's not. He's done to the outside of Scott. Get a break, better braking out. He's got the Alpha Tauri ahead. Keeps it nicely. That's a very tidy move there from Snips. And now we'll be looking to get Angelissimo into the pole positions, and only 1.8 seconds off the lead with 8 laps here to go. So, go on, go up Eau Rouge. Let's see it move up Eau Rouge. Oh, get that. No, this guy, like I said, Snips is a very level-headed driver. He's managing. He's letting Anthony here use his ERS for getting a better line and then bolting up the hill into Lacoon. About 215 miles an hour we saw earlier. So, no DRS yet, but that slipstream, that air off the front wing, and that ERS down the inside. Late on the brakes. Very nice move there for Snips. Oh, a little bit of contact, but keeps ahead. And Angelito now is fighting with Scott. That'll be a brilliant move if he pulls it off, but he just quite can't. The ground trap came too fast, but very nice thinking there from Scott, just to catch him out while they're a little bit offline, bit of a pick up on the tyres. Scott will now have a DRS next lap when it's enabled, and he should be able to get past Angelito and try to challenge back for the podium. Looking further down, Hammergiza, very close to Ryan here. They're medium tyres against the hard tyres. He could be looking to get past, but listen, the whole race from about 4th to 10th, we've seen such close gaps. These 6 drivers are always just pushing on their limit, and there's nothing to separate them. But how will Angelito hold this off here? He's going to have a lot of drivers bearing down his neck, a lot of DRS. I wonder if Scott will try just stick behind him here, keep the DRS for next straight, but he can't. He just can't. The Haas and the McLaren's right up there. He's going down the inside. Constant Ryan gets a little tag as well from behind from Tom. That was a very forward-thinking Constant Ryan there. Now he's backed off a little bit. He needs to just make sure he can get a good exit here and keep back up with the other drivers. But Tom's going for a move down the inside. Tom is just barged his way through by the looks of it, but he won't get. He's lapping to 7th. But they're still side by side. Here we go. Up Eau Rouge we go. We're going to see these 2 guys side by side. There we go. All the Haas stays in front there. Very nice stuff. But Tom's right up behind. And Finn's is left. Does Finn's lag out? Oh, he's low. Okay. I totally missed that. So it'll go 3 wide. 3 wide. The 2 Haas's in the Alpine. Tom, late on the brakes. Still side by side. Round turn 8. That'll turn to the inside for the next corner, and he is ahead. The medium tyres working nicely for him. 2 Haas's, how are they going to fight Arbon? Arbon on the fresh and medium tyres. Can he hang around the outside? He's touched. He's touched around Constant Ryan. Ryan will be furious of that. But Arbon, I think he'll know that he's in the wrong there. But all he can do now is push on and get the best result on track. and face the repercussions later. Up ahead, I've totally missed the pass to the lead. I've absolutely missed the pass to the lead. I wish I had the replays for that, but I don't. And Snips asserting his dominance here, 1.5 seconds. I don't want to curse him. I don't want any. Look, I wouldn't mind a safety car now, make it interesting, but Snips is making a statement here. I think Finn's won the first race, but Snips, he is fighting back and he's making a very bold statement here as this race develops. But the fight for P2 is very much on. Aston Martin against Ferrari. A battle for the ages in real life, and a battle that's just going to be brewing in real, on the game here. DRS down into the La Source and Lecombe is going to benefit Tom here massively. Only 6 tenths away, this could be a pass into Lecombe here. Jesus, tuck up behind, not much DRS though, 27%, and we're looking at the 32% I think it is, with the Ferrari, so you know, not too much difference. Tom is gaining 4 tenths. Medal defends the inside, he's coming back across, but Tom on the outside, he's got the better line here, he'll be able to stay ahead, and he does. A little bit wide. Can Medal fight back around the outside? It's a turn to the inside, to break it position here. Just has to back out of it, Tom. Very nice racing for them there. And that will fight on for another 7 laps into the race. Do not take your eye off it. Hammergeezer, he's worked his way in very nicely up this race. Now fighting, bearing down with Scott and them hard tyres. On the fresher 4-lap old medium tyres. He'll be able to challenge here. No, surely not. Not into poo on. Behave. Oh, he's actually done it. What a move from Hammergeezer, pushing Scott wide. Scott won't be happy with that. He lives to tell the tale and he'll be fighting back to get that P4. Tom also through there, he'll be liking that. And he can now fight for P4. Only 3.5 to B3, so he can be pushing on. And he could be looking at a podium. A little bit out of the track limits there, could be a warning. Just keep an eye on it, Tom. But he's already back up in the fight for the podium. I still wish he didn't get damage. That damage, that could have been such an interesting race now for him and Snips, because he would have pulled that gap. Snips 4 seconds, so goodbye Snips. That was good racing you, mate. You've pulled a blinder. And Scott has fallen down a little bit. Oh, someone else actually. Oh, it's Tom. I apologise for that, Scott. I've got that wrong. Tom has either been hit, locked the rears maybe, a bit more common in this game, or he's just lost it. And it's looking... Oh, it doesn't matter, he's in 11th now, so he needs to fight back up the grid again. He's done it once, can he do it again? 6 laps, I think he's got time, he's got speed, he needs to keep on the track and get them moves late on the brakes. Tom Gorey now, all Medal's back ahead. Medal was kept with him this lap, like I said he needed to do, and he's pulled the, made a DRS work up into Lecombe, and he's late on the brakes and ahead. But once again, Tom will be back next lap, so we'll make sure to keep a close run at next lap. Arbon into 5th. Now this is interesting actually, I've missed a lot of Arbon's overtakes, but he was 14th on them tyres. I said he made the wrong call. I wonder if I make my words here. I think I am in the wrong here. Scott's dropped onto 11th. Them hard tyres aren't working, so I wonder if he can just stick behind, hope for some mistakes, and then get a couple points on the board for the Aston Martin team as Tom keeps going around in P3, and he will be looking to just make sure no mistakes, get on the curves nicely, touch the inside of the curve, rotate the car, get a slipstream down into more likely Lecombe again, maybe a little bit earlier than that down the straight. We'll keep a close eye on that, like I said. A few penalties popping up now as well with both Mercedes and Normal Jinx, who's dropped to 13th. He had very good pace. He's pit in the last 3 laps, made a bit of damage. Damage to the tyres, damage to his pace, so get a fresh set of tyres on and hope something happens, and he now picks up a penalty again. I've seen a bit more gaps. Oh, that was why from Trissel Star there. As Tom's going to just, you know, tuck in, get a tighter exit, very nice, but here you go Scott, down, around the outside. Oh, Tom goes wide, can you just get the nicer exit here, Scott? On the inside he's tried it, but now we have the DRS. He should be challenging here. Are we going to see side-by-side Rouge again? I think we are. Is Tom going to just let him go? Yeah, I think he will. Trissel Star, I think he'll... Yeah, Tom will get the DRS here, so he'll bolt past, so will Scott. So, nice little racing from Trissel Star there, but ultimately these two around the outside. That's almost Hackman and Schumacher-esque. Does Scott get alongside there? He just kept the nose in. Ooh, twice to give him space there. Now Scott getting an optimised line here. Down into turn 10. Can he just set it up the inside before the drop down into turn 10? Tom just covers it off nicely and just puts that thought to bed. So you're now looking to push on back to Angelismo. He's got the tyre delta, he's got the fresher tyres, and he should be pushing and looking to get back overhead. And I've done it again. I've missed a Tom Gorian overtake into Lacombe. Could have been up the straight, but once again, medal will be back. This will keep going on and on and on. And is Tom made another mistake, or Scott? Tom must have made a mistake, because you do not normally see an overtake there, but obviously kudos to Scott there for making it work. Now he needs to make sure he can keep it on the track, get a good lap, exit here. And I wonder if Tom's got some sort of damage. He's maybe not visible, or maybe he's just recognised that the race is lost and he's to be more level-headed. Not all on his race, or his way his race. Not really his fault from what I can see, what I've seen from the damage. But attention to these two again. These two warriors are spot by the looks of it. Snip's now just managing that gap, as we can see. Fair play to him, he's done the hard work, he needs to bring it home now. But medal, 5 tenths, he will be up alongside before even Lacombe. 210 miles an hour. A little bit of plume of smoke there from Tom, bottoming out. But I think he'll know this battle was lost. Each needs to make sure, I think now these two, they just need to make sure they can preserve what they can for the last lap. The last lap is where this will be won. There's no point, just make sure they manage the gap as Hammersmith through before Lacombe alongside the straight. Nice move, nice race, and nice let's execute from him. Good day at the office for him. Can he just, keep a close eye on the second and third? He's got the fresher tyres, he's got the better tyres. Can he close up and get in at DRS, make it a three-way fight for second? Let's hope so. Come on, Hammergeezer, push on. Albon, though, he'll be looking to stick right behind him. Can we see a similar situation in Medal and Tom and Hammer and Albon, where they're just so close they cannot separate them, but the DRS is where it makes a difference. And every lap they just swap positions. But Hammergeezer, early impressions, making a good cut into that gap of third place. Can he just keep it, keep it going, keep it consistent, keep chipping away that gap, and ultimately get ahead come the end of the race? Looking back again, Tom ahead of Scott again. That's to be expected with his tyre delta and better tyres. But Scott is not giving this one up. He is right up behind him. Slipstream down into Pillon. Possible chicane of turn 19 and 20. Up into La Source. Eau Rouge, Kemmel Straight. He will be back ahead if he just keeps this close. Just looking very nicely. He's playing this very nicely, Scott, here. I think Tom's got the advantage in terms of pace, what it looks like. Scott has a little look up the inside. That's not going to work. Oh, he locks his rear tyres. He's now in a vulnerable position up into turn 1. But will Scott just stick behind him there? The DRS up into the Lacombe is more powerful. So he's just going to play, put that forward to Tom's mind. Make it look like he can at the inside. Put that doubt into Tom's mind, and this is where he'll nail all that ERS. Maybe not yet, because he's got the gap. He can just turn on DRS and fly past Tom here. But Tom is using that ERS. Tom has got a little bit more DRS. Here we go. Here comes Scott. Can he catch up? It's going to be close. It's going to be on the brakes if it is. But it's not looking like it this lap. So Scott will just, keep it in there. Because the longer you keep it in there, the more doubt Tom will get. And by the end of the race, that will be a very interesting battle. Now, Hammergeezer. 1.2 to Arbon. And Vapid 2 is breathing down his neck. I wonder if Arbon and Hammergeezer had a little bit of contact. Into Lacombe, turn 7, 8, 9, complex. But he's got the red light as well, so he's now going to struggle to catch back up to Arbon. He's making good progress here. But can he just hang on with that less ERS? But Arbon, he's also struggling with ERS. I think now we're looking at a fight between P2 and 3. Tom's actually stuck behind this lap, so I wonder if he's preserving more. Then extra percent of tyre wear can really make the difference at the end of the race. So I wonder if he's just preserving, just making sure, but he's dangerously close. Dropping out of DRS, but he's just turn on that button, pull right back up, and that's what he needs to do. But anyway, what I was saying, so we've now got races second and third and fourth and fifth, and this one's got 3 cars, but I think VP Coot here is in a very nice position. These two look to Arbon and Hammergeezer are battled a little bit more this race. Vape's he's just always been there. He needs to get back in DRS right now before the end of the race, end of the straight, which is all going to be done on the exit. He's got the ERS he can just deploy, so he should be fine. But looking back up ahead, Tom Gorian is dangerously close to falling out of the DRS. I wonder if he's managing or struggling. We'll find out in 2 more laps. Medal's actually, making the gap a little smaller. Snips has got all the DRS, and I believe he's got fastest lap. I'm not sure. We'll see at the end of the race. But he doesn't need to push. He does not need to risk anything. Tom Gorian gained 6 tenths in that DRS sector, so we know if you're within 7 tenths, there's probably a bit of DRS usage to add to that. Rather heavy using DRS. As Scott gets back over, yep, Scott ahead of Tom again. Like I said, Scott just sitting there. Scott is playing this very nicely. He will be right winding Tom up as Tom goes for it. This could be very hard. Oh, and they touch, like you said, into your off camber there. The tyres are laterally loaded on the left, on the inside. It makes it so hard just to get that move right. He's bolshed his way through. I'm not sure if that's the best way to go about it, but he'll feel he needs to get the job done, and he's done that. But these two will be fighting right to the end, there's no doubt about that. And that could become very tasty for them final couple of points. But Tom, once again, Tom is struggling, I believe, because he is constantly dropping back to that 9 tenths gap and then just keeps it around the edge there. Unless he's, like I said, tactically keeping this one where he needs it. Just give Metal that like positive thought that I've got this, and then pounce on the very last moment. But these two drivers undoubtedly know what they're doing. They know the mind games and the preservation of the tyres they need to do. So come lap 22, we should be looking at an incredible battle for second. I cannot wait to see that unfold. The gaps are stabilising a bit around here, but these two are glued together for the last 5 laps, aren't they? Scott and Tom. I think Scott's just got the advantage here. I think he's got the mental and just driving advantage right now. He's just keeping it calmer, keeping it stuck up behind, and he can now get back ahead of Tom into the braking zone of turn 7, about 215 miles an hour. I think I've said that 100 times this race, but it's just such a good track. It's such a good complex of corners. It'd be rude not to. He's tucked up right behind, and he will be flying past Tom halfway up the straight. Pulls to the outside, bit of pick up on the tyres, but he's through. Very nicely done there from Scott. Angelissimo is the next target. Oh, and Tom gets a penalty, and that little battle put to bed. But not on track is not. These drivers want to be fighting for that on track merit, so he will not be giving that one up. I'm not sure what's happened for Tom. I reckon he must have a little bit of damage, because Tom was right up there, and now even on the fresher tyres, he made his way back up and then made some mistakes. So I wonder if he's had a little bit of a setup issue. We saw the rears looking, but he should have been much higher this race. Obviously something's not his fault, but I think from the situation he got in after the second safety car, he could have done a lot better, but so could everyone. So it's always relative. I want to know what's going on with Finn's. He must have had a disconnection, and obviously he's joined back. Going for the fastest lap now. A Jinx and Finn's fastest lap shootout. Yep, that'll tie into this amazing race late. Nicely, Snips starts his last lap, lap 22. Another 7 kilometers to go before he has won this race. But here we go. This is what I've been waiting for. 6 tenths. This is going to be right on the limit. These two have got to get the best exit they can here. They've both done that nicely. Use up all the track you can. Not to spin the tyres too much. As you now drop down. Oh, there's a red light already. They're both very low on ERS. This could be incredibly close. Here we go. Medal. He's got to swerve all he can to break that DRS on the train. But he's doing it. He's pulled to the inside. Can Tom Gorian get it down the brakes? He's going to put alongside, he's gone to the outside, he's gone to the inside. 50 metres, a little bit early, keeps the nose in there. Oh, a medal, very nicely judged to keep it ahead there. But it's not over yet, they've still got half a lap, about 5 kilometres to go over this track. They'll be giving it everything they can to do this. But, looking further back, do we have Scott and Tom again? Tom's got ahead, penalty, doesn't matter, so he will be getting P10 in this race. But, I'm going back on board with Tom Gorian here, because he just perfect this lap, perfect everything he can, the usage, the curbs, and just get a one final run into the bus chicane. We will have to see the end of this lap. Finn's grabs the fastest lap, 1:43.584. That's a nice point for him after a disappointed result for this race. Tom Gorian 6 tenths off. He's still in that range of slipstream, but it's going to be a little bit too far back. Can he try an ambitious move? But at the end of the day, Scott's back ahead of Tom as well. That battle keeps raging on, like I say. Back on board with Snip, so what an absolutely... He's had a different strategy. He had a few safety cars to overcome, But there was absolutely no doubt today that Snips was the man to beat. Snips was the man who no one could beat, and he's absolutely dominated this race. Snips across the line, takes the Spa win at RFL. Medal grabs second in the end after a great battle of Tongorian. Arbon, a very nice result to get fourth. Hamagiza fighting back to get fifth. Vapid gets sixth. Dan gets seventh after a very, very topsy-turvy race. Tom and Scott, very nice battle for ninth there, all the way to the end. But ultimately, Scott, and Tom drops out the points by 4 tenths. Constant Ryan just sneaks in there on a 17-lap-old hard tyres. But wow, that was an absolutely phenomenal race there. Well done to all the drivers. And we see Finty clean through on that fastest lap. Ooh. Snips. He will be ecstatic with that. Jinx grabs the fastest lap by 2 tenths. There's always something to look out for in this race, always something to look out for in this league. And that is why we love racing. Can Finns get it back? Breaking on the 50-metre board just before the bus came, hook it up nicely. Just got a little bit of ERS to plummet on the end. And the lap, very nice. Oh, he slowed down a little bit. He won't be getting the fastest lap here. Unlucky Vince. We saw he had the pace today, but ultimately it wasn't to come together. And there we go. That's the race. I will invite the podium finishers to the party and try. Do not invite Finns. That's the wrong song. Hamagi's driver of the day. I think that's well deserved. He had a less optimal qualifying, but he's just fought through. He kept it clean and got a great finish of P5 in the end. Great result for McLaren in the end as well. So there we go then. That's your result. Snips with a great win. Medal second. Tom Gorin third. Wrapping off the podium. Running down the grid, Arbon got fourth. Hammersmith fifth. Hamagiza even. Great race for him to get back up to P5. Vapid, Dan, Angelito, Scott, Constant Ryan ran off the top 10. And that was an incredible race actually. We'll just see if a few more of the podium finishers join before we conduct the interviews. If you'd like to include your audio medal as Tom joins. So now it's just Snips if he does join. If not, we will shortly get underway. Give Snips 1 minute to join. If he doesn't, then what's that? Oh, I think it's automatically included then, so that's fine. Okay, yeah. Right, we'll start with you, Tom. I was saying that race between you and Medal there at the end, that was very tactical. I thought it was every lap. I always missed it, but you just got past, and then I thought at the end you were trying to back off just to get one final push, and it was so close. I think I judged perfectly. It was a brilliant battle. How do you see that? Yeah. Yep. Well, that was a great race from you. How are you looking forward to next week in Netherlands? Yep. Well done on that P3. That was a great race. Moving on to medal. I'm gonna say similar to you. That was an absolute incredible battle to watch at the end. Ultimately, you got second. And how do you see that race from your perspective? Mm. I think it was fine because it wasn't like too late. It was fine, and obviously you managed well on the outside, so it was just great racing. I thought. Yep. Well, how are you looking forward to Netherlands next week then? Oh, good luck for next week then. Um, well, that's RFL season two, race two. I meant. Round Spa, Snips is the winner, medal second, Hungary in third, and we'll see you next week in the Netherlands.